I feel like this is much more of a valid reaction than the one he gave earlier. Like, he was trying to act all tough in the moment, but in reality, this is what it should have been.
Invading my opponent's body has always been the surest way of avoiding attack. It's my jutsu's greatest advantage.
I like how Kiba turns this jutsu's advantage into a disadvantage. If it's good for avoiding attack, and Kiba hurt himself to attack the enemy, that advantage is now useless. It also makes Kiba seem like an absolute dog, which makes for a cool moment. Have you ever noticed Kiba actually just attacks the same spot? I don't know if that would actually be more or less effective, but regardless, it's kinda cool. Also, in this shot, Ukon has a wound, but then right here, he doesn't. These smoke bombs are actually a callback to his fight in the prelims. Cause you'd expect him to do the same thing he did there, just a constant wave of attacks. But instead, he runs away and subverts expectation. What even is this trap, and like, why do we never see it again? Kiba is just like trying shit out at this point.
He's still breathing.
This moment is so sad. Just the fact that the thought of Akamaru being okay made him cry. Especially cause as a shinobi, you're not supposed to show your emotions. You're not supposed to cry. But seeing Akamaru like this forced that out of him. And like, the saddest part about it is that he stops crying out of pain. So this small glimpse of humanity is cut short by a wound he got because of the cruelty of the ninja world. Just a very symbolic moment, and it's used on Kiba out of all people. Anyways, this flashback is also really sad. If you've ever watched those Charlie Brown shorts, it reminds me a lot of when Charlie Brown and Snoopy first met. And like, if you've watched those, you know it's peak. I also like how the flashback as a whole just shows their bond slowly forming over time. They first meet and instantly have a connection. They grow through academy life together. They train together and their bond just becomes even tighter. It gives us a good sense on why Kiba and Akamaru are so close. And on top of that, the flashback itself is just Kiba thinking back to these moments. So it just adds an extra layer of sadness when you just pair it with the last moment.
Way to go!
Okay, I'm talking about this cause why not? There is no reason for flashback choreography to go this hard. Also, we've actually seen this part of the flashback before during the end of Search for Tsunade, which is really cool because it makes this flashback seem really natural and like it's just been going on in the background.
And we'll be together for a long time to come, boy. I'll see to that. I'll take better care of you from now on.
This is actually really good for Kiba as a character. It makes him seem like he's grown in this arc, and realistically, that's something he really needs. Not to mention, he actually feels more likable now that he's, you know, caring about his dog. Also, what's going on with Kiba's hoodie here? Like, I swear that thing on his zipper is a lot larger than it should be. Anyways, the rings on these kunai have like comically small holes. How is someone even gonna use that?
I'll kill you! I'm gonna kill that kid!
Yeah, so Sakon's just taking his sweet ass time, by the way. Genuinely not locked in, like, at all.
If you find him or that mutt, keep them alive. I'll kill them when I wake up. Understood?
It's kind of funny that Kiba genuinely pissed off Ukon just from 2 moves. All he had to do was use his jutsu against him and then lure him into a trap, and that's all it took. If he got mad from just that, imagine if like Naruto was fighting him. He'd somehow unlock like a 3rd stage of the curse mark. Speaking of curse marks, Ukon actually had to go back to stage 1 because of how hurt he was. And again, I'm gonna ask, how does this work? Was it that his body didn't have the energy to uphold it, and in turn he had to revert to a stage he could maintain? And like, when he's merged with Sakon, what happens if he's using a stage 1 mark and Sakon's using a stage 2? Their cells are merging, so is he now going to be feeling the stage 2 mark regardless?
Now behold, the Willow Dance!
Is it not crazy that Kimimaru is doing all of this by like sheer willpower? He is effortlessly killing multiple clones at once with a body that is only able to move because of his drive, and he genuinely feels unstoppable here, and that energy is carried up until his death. Not only that, but like the impression this moment gives you, it's no wonder he's such a beloved character. I always really like it when they show how a certain move is performed. Like when they show their feet pivoting or when they show their hand twirling a kunai. It makes the choreography a lot more striking and makes the move itself seem a lot more calculated. Like Madara described fighting as dancing during the war arc. And when you see something like this with certain body parts being used, that descriptor makes a lot more sense. Bone. Anyways, this move is pretty much the exact same move Sasuke used during Naruto vs Sasuke Part 2. And when Sasuke's being called Kimimaaru's will and legacy later into the series, it makes those moves being so similar maybe not an accident and more of a callback. This shot actually looks like the exact same shot from last episode. And honestly, that's probably not an accident. The shot before, Kimimaaru didn't have all these bones sticking out of him, but now, in this shot he does, showing he's now a lot more serious. By the way, real quick, something that really pisses me off about this part of the fight is that Naruto's clones are just sitting there. He's sending out at most 6 clones at a time, and most of the time Kimimaaru is just waiting for them to attack. Besides that one moment. So, if Naruto had a brain, he would just constantly send out a stream of clones instead of sending them out in waves. That downtime for Kimimaaru is probably because he needs it, given his terminal illness. And while, yeah, of course Naruto wouldn't know that, it's still weird he's sending out wave after wave when it is clearly not working.
Bones sticking out of him like a porcupine!
Those things sticking out of porcupines are actually not bones. They're keratin, which is not bones. Trust me, I looked it up. So now that I know that, I'm calling Naruto an idiot, because I'm just I'm clearly much smarter than him. Here's another part that we can have a Kimimaaru-Sasuke comparison. Kimimaaru's fit allows him to easily take his shirt off in case he wants to get a bone from his shoulders. In Shippuden, Sasuke's early fit also allows him to do this so he can use wings from the curse mark. Okay, I'm just getting into it. Yeah, this was censored like crazy. In the manga, it's on some body horror shit, and since this had to be televised, mostly to children at the time, that couldn't fly. I'd say this one is more egregious than the one with Shikamaru later, but it's still pretty bad. I think if Naruto was being animated and released now, we'd probably be seeing the manga version too. It's just that they had to censor it back then. So I guess fingers crossed for those Naruto episodes that are allegedly releasing.
Won't be long now.
This line kind of has a double meaning. Meaning 1 is that it's not long until Sasuke leaves the coffin, and meaning 2 is that it's not long until Kimimaaru kills Naruto. Cool touch with Naruto's QB amp. The lines and shadows on Naruto's face are turned up to a fucking million to help show his intensity. They're a lot bolder in some areas, like around his eyes and his overall outline. Then, on his whiskers and under his eyes, they're thinner but larger in quantity, which in turn makes his whiskers specifically look bolder as well. All of these help him make him look out of control, something we realistically haven't seen since the Forest of Death. And even then, we haven't seen it on this level. Wonder what that tells us.
I have 5 dances in my repertoire. You've only seen 1.
The fact that Kimimaaru's only used 1 of his 5 dances makes him seem even more unstoppable. This fight seems so hopeless for Naruto, and not only is that so Lee saving him seems a lot more important, it's also so Kimimaaru sets a tone for all of his fights moving forward. When he's facing Lee and Gaara, this impression we have of Kimimaaru being unstoppable is tested time and time again. So whenever Lee and Gaara make progress in their fights, it makes those moments seem like amazing feats. Anyways, now that we have that out the way, what's going on with Naruto's clones in the background? I don't think they're supposed to look like that. Here's another fisheye lens. This shot also looks like another one from last episode. And just like the last one, it's meant to show that Kimimaaru's now getting serious. And just like the shot from last episode, it's also supposed to show uneasiness and Kimimaaru's gonna easily beat Naruto.
I left a trail of blood leading right to me.
For how good Kiba's supposed to be at survival stuff, I feel like this is something he maybe should have accounted for. I don't care if he frantically got away, this is either something he should have noticed earlier, or something he should have made sure didn't happen.
That scent. Why? What the hell would they be doing here?
Okay, so there's a lot of really cool stuff here, so just get ready. For starters, this is Kiba noticing Gaara, Temari, and Kankuro. And it makes a lot of sense that he would immediately pick up on Gaara's scent considering what happened in the Forest of Death. And I genuinely think that is the only reason Kishimoto made Kiba go on this mission and not Shino. Cause although a Shino-Kankuro reunion would have been cool, it also wouldn't have allowed them to set up the Sand siblings helping them. Anyways, on top of what I just said, in this shot, you see 3 things flying by. And for people who are watching for the first time who wouldn't know these are the Sand siblings, their reaction would be well, who the fuck is that? which now adds a new side of mystery to this arc that is already kind of blown up and turned into a bunch of chaos. Like, very fast and efficient writing just done in like 3 shots. It's kind of crazy.
We gotta beat it. Fast.
I feel like both things here are kind of valid reactions from Kiba. He probably wants to leave because he and the other Genin would still see the Sand siblings as enemies. And on top of that, him falling also makes sense considering he just stabbed himself in the stomach. Like, not only does that probably hurt like crazy, but you also kind of need your core to get up the way he did.
Where did the rest of him go?
Fuck you mean rest of them? There's none of them. Did Sakon's dumbass really think this hoodie thing was his hair? If so, you'd be like, kid me levels of smart, because that's exactly what I thought. Anyways, Kiba getting out of this is a lot more impressive than I think some give him credit for. This is like a straight pathway, so the fact they didn't see him escape is crazy. He also couldn't even get up a second ago, so the willpower this took is also insane. Not to mention, Kiba looks noticeably tired, so much so it can be seen as him being close to death. It goes to show how good Kiba is at survival stuff. Just, you know, too bad he couldn't see or feel blood dripping down his stomach.
What a drag!
Have you ever noticed how many tree branches these grunts have broken? It happens like a lot more than you might think. Anyways, I like how this puts Shikamaru in a very awkward position. This isn't what he's used to, and that forces him to think of a plan and get out of it fast.
So you figured out I was manipulating them with my flute. You're not as dumb as you look.
Okay, well, to be fair, I don't think that was that hard to realize. He should instead be praised for something he says later on. Not this.
Knowing what I've been doing isn't the same as knowing how to stop me.
You've got a point there.
I mean, yeah, she does, but like, it's kind of the first step. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. That's fucking Art of War, Sun Tzu. And like, oh my god, what happens later? He knew his enemy, and knew himself, and he got it with shadow possession? No way!
That song's comprised of sequences of modulated sound waves, each sequence controlling a specific movement.
See, in my opinion, this is something that should be praised more. Obviously, he didn't say it out loud, but to pick up on that while constantly having to dodge 3 grunts at once, that's pretty impressive.
The fact remains I've got no ear for music.
I like how this is something that can actually play against him in this fight. Because he's got no musical ear, he can't fully take advantage of knowing which moves do what. But since Shikamaru's the absolute GOAT, he still finds a workaround.
Demon Revolution!
It's so sick that she can just switch up the song, and suddenly the grunts attack differently. It makes her as an opponent really tricky, cause if you learn how to counter one song, she has more to use. That also makes Shikamaru seem like he's in a really bad spot, cause now he has to learn a new melody, while also not having a good musical ear. But, like I said, since Shikamaru's the GOAT, he finds a workaround. Something I'll mention, not in this video, cause the episode ended. Last episode, I said that it was a good bounce back from the last 2, and this episode is like a full recovery. We're very much back on track now, and I think this episode should be praised a lot more. Kiba's stuff is good, fast-paced, and moves the overall fight along really well, and it also helps set up the Sand siblings helping them, something that's really important. Naruto's fight with Kimimaro fleshes out his Kekkei Genkai and makes Naruto seem like he's screwed, while also having the impression of Kimimaro as a big threat just like fully solidified. And then on top of that, Shikamaru's fight is continued, and it makes him seem like he's in a terrible spot, while also fleshing out Tayuya's jutsu and giving us a surface level understanding on how it works. Like, the amount of work just all that information puts in down the road is insane, and honestly, it should be recognized. Every character is on point in this episode too, besides Kiba forgetting that blood exists. But me personally, I'm gonna let it slide, for now. The only actual thing I can say bad about this episode is that Naruto and Kimimaro are kind of sidelined again. But to reiterate what I said last episode, their moments are coming soon, and they'll soon kind of just take over the entire arc. So yeah, W episode. If you want to support me more than just watching this video, you can become a member on Patreon. And yeah, next episode, Fake Out. Shikamaru's comeback.